Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we are going to look at the Echeveria Coccinea, or otherwise called the red Echeveria. It belongs to the Chrysolaceae family. This is a beautiful plant that has the russet look of the common Echeverias, but nothing else is same apart from that. This has a large stalk, almost 24 inches tall, like the Aeonium, and these velvety leaves are the most striking feature of the Coccinea. The leaves are very tactile, and people who have visual challenges can feel this plant and can start their own gardening journey with such tactile plants. Now, the plant is called the red echeveria because with more exposure to sun, the leaves will turn a crimson red. But in rainy areas like mine, exposing it to more sun isn't the ideal thing to do. But if you are in a dry location, you could try it, but I would still prefer a dapple shade any day with succulents. The plant was bought from a nursery and the plant was exposed to some incessant rain unwittingly and the tips were burning like this. And I realized that I need to repot this as soon as possible and keep this dry for a few days. So I used a not so fancy terracotta pot, covered it with a broken pot piece, and for the potting mix I'm just using 50% sand, 40% compost and 10% cocoa chips. After adding the potting mix, I added the plant and backfilled, making sure it stands as erect as possible. But remember that this plant has a tendency of flopping over because of the weight of these leaves. Unlike the aeoniums, they don't have a strong stem to prevent it from flopping over. So you could use some rocks like this to prevent the plant from flopping over too much initially and affecting the root development. Now you can either water the plant immediately or water it the next day. This is true for all your succulents. It is very easy to propagate this plant. You can take a stem cutting with nodes or even take leaves, then callus them and add them to a well-draining mix like this. You can see here that the node already is putting out some aerial roots. This pup also has aerial roots. So this is how easy it is to propagate succulents, and the best thing about succulents is that their eagerness to survive makes our lives as gardeners easy. So now let us look at some quick Coccinea tips. Now looking at the leaves, you can say that it can grow in full sun or part sun. The more silver the leaves are, the more it can tolerate full sun. But give this bright sunlight exposure, and an outdoor balcony area will be better than growing this indoors. But you can still grow this indoors in a very bright location of your home. That is, the south or the west will be ideal positions. But the growth could be leggy. Give this ample protection from the rain with some overhead structure when grown outdoors. Water only when the soil dries completely when grown outdoors or indoors. Do not water the leaves. The more you forget to water this plant, the more it would forget to rot. No fertilizing is required. If you want, you can top up the soil with some well-decomposed compost once a year. This will bloom during the spring months and you can see some very typical Echeveria type blooms on it. This cannot tolerate frost, so grow this indoors in a warm location or in greenhouses during winter in cold countries. Mealybugs can be a threat to a wide range of succulents, including this one, so get rid of these brats with physical removal or with neem oil pesticide. Physical removal is the best before their population explodes, or use a Q-tip dipped in isopropyl alcohol and remove the scales because they are like leeches and they remain stuck on the plant without any movement. So if you are a succulent enthusiast who wants to grow their collection of exotic succulents, then what better plant than the Echeveria Coccinea? With this, we've come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore, and I really hope you enjoyed this particular succulent program. Additionally, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links will be given below. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, a very warm goodbye.